are back. Welcome to another edition of... And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are... And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports.
Welcome back.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition. And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this. Big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
Extra stoked and excited.
We are finally back. Another edition
end of the game, and
of the Sports.
I think it's still playing, dude.
Extra stoked and excited. We are finally back. Another edition. Oh, that's from the YouTube video.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That makes
Guys,
sense.
Barnes,
All
Tony,
right.
It's Friday.
Friday difficulties.
A lot of difficulties, but we're here. So much to be fired up about, so much to talk about. The Mets, the Yankees, the PGA Championship, and of course, Game 2 between the Rangers and the Hurricanes. But obviously, being at Citi Field, Tony, let's start in the world of Major League Baseball.
2-2, he got him swinging. The back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray. There's damage right there. Shohei, way, Cy-Yo, not where did that land? Stuck to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins and fires. Out at first.
There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
All right, Tony. And usually, we start recapping the Yankees, but I feel appropriate. Citi Field in the background.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot to talk about with the Mets. I mean, great win yesterday, but also some bad news. If you wouldn't mind elaborating on both, sir.
All right, so I guess this was 2 days ago. Max Scherzer leaves the game. Says he has some side tightness. Turns out he has a torn oblique.
Ooh.
It is a 6 to 8 week recovery right now for him, which is obviously, pretty tough, given the fact that we're already down DeGrom, and DeGrom and Scherzer being our first two starting pitchers in the rotation are definitely our better pitchers. Wow, dude, there's a giant fly right here on my laptop. But yeah. So I mean, I guess the good thing is, I mean, there's been updates on DeGrom, and his recovery is kind of coming along, and it seems like both DeGrom and Scherzer will be coming back around the same time.
Which is, you're saying, about a month and a half to 2 months away, give or take? Because I think they said 6 to 8.
6 to 8 weeks. Yeah. So should be pretty interesting to see what happens with Trevor Williams and Peterson,
Taijuan Walker.
I know, and it's I don't know, dude. I feel like Taijuan obviously came back from injury as well, and he I feel like his first outing wasn't great, dude. So
to your surprise,
to my surprise, yes.
But I mean, there's got to be someone else they're either gonna bring up, or I don't know, somebody out of the pen, like who's filling that spot, because I feel like they already had people filling in for DeGrom, obviously. Right.
So I don't know. There was talks of them eyeing a couple pitchers. I think there was a left-handed pitcher from the A's that they were eyeing up.
Not Montas.
I don't know. I forget. I skimmed through the article quickly this morning.
Okay.
But so maybe they want to bring someone in. There's not really anyone we could bring up from the minors, really.
What's happened to, they always had all these pitching prospects. I mean, guys just lower levels, not ready. Is that?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we traded away one of our better pitching prospects
for Bassett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, there's that. And then obviously, what's his face, who was the first round pick?
Kumar Rocker. Bless you.
Kumar Rocker, obviously, isn't really in the picture. So what?
I can't wait to see where he gets drafted this year. Because I guess he's been playing in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's like you're focused on now and in the future and not about Kumar Rocker, but part of you a little nervous that Kumar Rocker becomes the next Bob Feller. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry, it's a little funny.
It is a little funny because I'm telling you that's what's going to happen.
But it was just, the whole thing was ridiculous just because it's like, I mean, you're basically saying, but come on. Like, I'd rather just take my chance with someone next year, but it's like, you have your pick this year.
I know.
Now you just have an additional one that's one spot back.
And it was stupid because, like, Cohen said that, like a bust this year, it's going to be worth more to have a better pick the next year. So we're not keeping him, but it's like, dude, like,
you're worried you're getting another Carlos Carrasco this year.
Yeah. Speaking of Carrasco, dude.
Yeah.
The pitching is a little bit worrisome here for the Mets.
Because if you think about it, not to cut you off, but basically right now is Chris Bassett the number one starter that's currently active.
Correct. I think McGill's injured right now.
Yeah. You haven't heard anything about?
No, I think it's just short term.
Yeah,
nothing crazy.
So I'm just looking here. So the A's starting rotation is Montas Caprillion, who's a righty, the former Yankee prospect, Paul Blackburn. And I'm kind of thinking you're talking about either Cole Irvin or Dalton Jeffries.
I have to see their faces.
But because I think Irvin is a left-hander, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's not him.
And it's not Dalton Jeffries.
Oh, it is Dalton Jeffries.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
No, you didn't. You thought it was Cole.
I still brought up his name, though, Tony. I still brought up his name. So basically, though, it sounds like you're saying whether it's a big or a move on the smaller side, you're expecting them to do something to try to fill this void. Nobody
they need to
takes his spot, but
in 6 to 8 weeks takes you to like almost the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess the only thing you could say is at least it's not season ending. At least it's not an elbow injury. It's not something that requires surgery.
Right.
So I guess there's that.
I know. And for someone like Max Scherzer to say to himself, like, I gotta get out of this game, I would imagine he was in like quite a bit of discomfort.
At the moment, though, were you thinking Tommy?
No, not really. Because watching him pitch, like, you kind of saw, I think it was like a slider he threw. And you saw him kind of grab his side a little bit. So I kind of figured it wasn't, his elbow. I kind of thought, maybe it was like a core or something. And ended up being the oblique. So, which is tough.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see, if they go after Jeffries or another pitcher. But on the diamond, I mentioned 7-6 yesterday in extra innings. Bassett got the start, wasn't great. But
No.
Diaz did blow it. He hasn't done that all season.
I know.
What was your overall take? I mean, obviously they get the win here, so I guess that's the important part in terms of the game.
Right, of course. I mean, thankfully, it's funny because I feel like what was it? 2 days ago when you were telling me how they don't have like the power hitter besides Alonso and like what's small ball really going to get you. But the past couple of games have been winning. It's been a lot of RBI singles still, RBI ground outs, sac fly RBIs and stuff like that. That's what you saw yesterday from the get-go. I think Alonso hit an RBI single in the first. I want to say McNeil maybe another RBI in the first as well. So they're up, 2-0. Cardinals come right back. I think they take the lead at that point.
Paul Goldschmidt in the third.
Second and third. They tie it up. So I mean, it was nice to see them kind of hitting early and often, which is nice. But then you see them kind of come back. Goldschmidt homered. And then
Yepes. He's a hot rookie.
Yeah.
He's been doing well.
And then Goldschmidt again, an RBI double in the fifth. So, but the Mets kind of, battled back. And again, same deal. It's getting runners on base, sacrificing, getting those RBIs in. So, I mean, it's really nice to see their offense play consistently throughout the games. And we've been seeing that for the past few games, I feel. I feel like it was maybe at some point last week where they were just getting so many late starts on offense. It was like the 6th inning, the 7th inning where they'd finally start getting some hits. And now we're seeing them hitting right off the rip, first, second inning, getting a few runs in, which is nice because obviously now with the starting pitching, I would imagine we'll be giving up some runs, here and there with Peterson and Williams starting and stuff like that. So, and then of course, and you mentioned it, Diaz blew it in the 9th. Haven't seen that in a while, but I guess he was due, I suppose, right?
Law of averages.
Averages.
You just hope it's not a Chapman streak because Chapman, I think it's 4 straight games since he hadn't allowed anything.
Right.
He's allowed something.
I know.
4 games in a row.
I don't think so. It's always funny watching Diaz blow leads in games because you just see he does the same thing every time where he gives up a run or whatever. They cut to him and he just gets the ball back. It's like, like that, like every time. And he's been so good. I feel like in terms of his mechanics and his mentality, I think it's nothing really to worry about for him. And then of course you get Alonso, the big boy home run in the 10th, walk off homer. And I want to say this game, although it should have went to extras, it was a good mix of just small ball and then getting that one home run to kind of win it here.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be our recipe for the season here.
And especially, with these pitching injuries, it is a must that you get the absolute best out of Pete Alonso this year. Almost especially like to really be in the contention to win a championship, like he needs to hit like 50.
Yeah. No, honestly,
which
you're
we know
totally
he
right.
can. We've seen it before. So just something to keep an eye out for. We'll see what happens there. But on the other side of town,
oh boy,
in Baltimore, but in terms of the Yankees, they finally lose their 10th game of the season. As Renee says, "Let's go Rangers!" Appreciate it, Renee.
She's pumped for the Rangers.
And she, I feel like, is very good at luck. We always talk Eddie Mush. I think Renee is the polar opposite of Eddie Mush. Am I wrong, Tony?
I guess I can't argue with that,
anyhow, who is kind of an Eddie Mush for the Yankees is Anthony Santander.
Yeah,
again, he had the 2-run home run, two home run game last week, and then yesterday walk-off home run in extra innings.
I know.
Off Lucas Licky, and this is after the Yankees rallied in the 9th to tie it. Montgomery, who's been very solid this season, didn't really have his best stuff yesterday. 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts over 5 at the Tyone line. And then Miguel Castro had a Joely Rodriguez line, no outs, 1 hit, 3 runs, including 2 earned and a walk.
He was due for that as well, I feel.
Law of averages.
Yeah.
So that kind of just set them back. And, nice to see Stanton hit his 11th. And I think he's actually the major league RBI leader, if I'm not mistaken, with 35.
Yeah.
IKF had a big hit late in the game as well. Or not, yeah. And then he stole second, scored the game time run. So, of course, at the end of the day, you're going to be disappointed losing to Baltimore. I mean, that's just a simple fact. But at the same time, it's another series win. I believe that's 9 in a row. And, you just look at it. I mean, 28-10 is 28-10.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you just go to an important series, this weekend. Against Chicago. I mean,
right.
you looked great against them in Chicago last week. So let's see if they can follow it up at home, this weekend. And I think in terms of, for the most part, even like last night, for instance, like Jordan Montgomery totally doesn't have his stuff, but yet every night the Yankees at least have a start where they might not be lights out, but they're keeping you in the game.
Right.
And I think that we can almost assume that that's going to happen every night. So it's just a matter of offense and bullpen. And one thing I'm just interested to see is particularly how much Joey Gallo and Aaron Hicks play this series. So you look at the numbers. Gallo, for him, I guess 176. He's on fire. Hicks, though, 196, making errors in the field, struck out 3 times in 4 at-bats yesterday. That's really becoming a problem after a nice start. And at the beginning of the year, Hicks is talking 30-30. I mean, and it's like he can't even get to 10-10 at this point.
I know, dude. It's tough. You cannot I think last night was a one-off in terms of your bullpen and Monty not having a phenomenal outing, you know, and you still score 6 runs, which is great. But, there are going to be nights where, your bullpen might be getting hit up, your start might be getting hit. And to have like on any other night where they're on it, like they have been for such a long time, almost this entire season, I feel. But on nights like that, you cannot have a Hicks or a Gallo striking out so much. You need that extra run support. You can't just be relying at that point on Judge, on Stanton, on Khalifa, right? Like you have to have some other support runners you can trust. And I mean, it's not Gallo, and it's right now not Hicks. So I mean,
it's not Higgy.
It's not Higgy.
Trevino did have the home run the other night.
I know, but still, I mean, you need to get at least Gallo out of there, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, it's so fun, dude. The other day, maybe 2 days ago, maybe it was yesterday, but Donald Greco was absolutely ripping him up. It was yesterday.
Oh, no. So that was the other day. But I was just gonna say he was flipping out because someone called in yesterday. Oh, okay,
that was yesterday.
About. Okay.
And the guy was like, "Oh, like if Gallo by June can hit 220." Like he can be a 275 hitter by the end of the year, by September. And
that's what Don said, or that's what
the caller said.
Okay.
And he's like, dude, it's like May 19th.
Yeah.
He's batting 170, whatever. It's like he's not going to be batting 220 in 2 weeks. Like, get out of town. No way. And he's right. I mean, he went in on him. He's like, I mean, his career batting average is like a 206 or something. It's like, dude.
And it's like, the thing that I don't like is, first of all, I mean, I'm sure there is some team out there. Mary chimes in.
So happy to see you guys on.
Great to have you following along here.
Back on YouTube, baby.
Let's go. Just play it, Tony.
Let's go!
Oh my goodness. I don't remember saying that.
I don't even know what it was from. But.
Anyway, it's just like with Gallo specifically. So I think you could definitely trade him for a player to be named later, cash consideration.
Anything.
Somebody who will take him on.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you don't do that. And then with Hicks, listen, it's not even a Robinson Cano situation with a lot of money. It's only $10 million a season. So it's like, if it's a matter of, in order to trade him, you have to give up a decent prospect, then just release him. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just have to cut your losses. And there's no way, Tony, that you could tell me that they're not better off calling up Estevan Florial, to play every day. You could put Judge in center, Florial could play left, Stanton could play right.
Yeah.
That's your best outfield.
Why aren't they doing that?
Because they don't want to, just eat Hal literally does not want to eat one penny. So that is really the biggest thing. And then Cashman has always been a big proponent of Aaron Hicks. So he just doesn't want to give up the walks, this and that, but it's like, come on.
Right. I mean, do you think Hicks is done?
Yeah.
Like, no way he's gonna have like an uptick in play.
No, and they were talking about this on with Dave and Rick before, and it's like they were saying, and it's true. You can't you can't think of one moment in Aaron Hicks's career where you've watched him and been like, "Oh my God, this guy is really
Oh my goodness.
this guy is really, really good."
Yeah, I know.
There's not one time. And they mentioned that catch that he made against the Twins, a couple years ago. Yes. And then, sure, the home run against the Astros in 2019, I think game 5 at home, whatever it was, off the foul pole. Other than that, it's always been just a struggle. I mean, sure, one year, he was flirting with 30 home runs. The average is always low. The fielding has been there, but it's just not what they need, And it's like, listen, I guess their thought process, I'm sure one other thing with just not unloading those guys right now is, and Don, this was actually separate from what you said. So he actually flipped out because someone called in yesterday and said, "Oh, why don't you just cut him? Like, just cut him. Like, anybody will be better. Gardy was better." Like, literally like that. And he flipped out and he just was like, they're 28-10. They're not doing anything. So I think there is a thought process from the front office that they just simply don't want to mess with it, but it's just hard to argue. I mean, come on, what are you telling me, that Hicks brings that much from a leadership perspective that you're just going to let him strike out 3 out of 4 at bats and make errors in the field and just live with it?
Like, it can't be. And you're 28-10 now, but I mean, you lost against Baltimore last night, right? I mean, it's like, this can happen again.
Right.
Like, you don't know, like maybe your bullpen's going to get shellacked against Chicago.
Right.
And you're not going to have the run support because you're relying on the same 3 or 4 guys.
Exactly.
And that's it, dude. Like,
exactly. So
I feel like it's better to nip it in the butt now rather than be like, "Oh, we're 28-10, we're fine, whatever." Like,
and I'm concerned if Florial doesn't get consistent playing time soon, like, they're gonna ruin him. And he was one of the more highly touted prospects. You look back 3, 4, 5 years ago. Still young. I want to say he's 24 or 25. But just give him that opportunity, and even too, I mean, you could bring up Miguel Andujar. He did good in the one game that he played this year. He can hit, and it's like I said, Judge can play center. We can live with Miggy and left. It's just this way just doesn't make sense. So, I mean, if I had to look at my crystal ball, I would say definitively Gallo by the trade deadline is gone. Hicks, I think they're gonna literally do everything they can to not get rid of him because of Brian Cashman's love affair with Aaron Hicks. It's almost like his love affair with Steven Drew going back 7, 8 years ago, whatever it was. I know we watched that video a while ago.
Yeah.
Hicks or Drew? Who, overall better career, if we're ending Hicks's career right now?
I'd have to see the numbers. I would imagine Drew, though, right?
Because didn't he win the World Series with the Red Sox?
Yeah.
And he was actually highly touted and actually had a couple decent years with the Diamondbacks and then just turned into this, Joey Gallo type of hitter. So it'll be interesting to see. But like I said, series with the White Sox on the horizon. So, that's one where it's, again, you just want to go for 10 series in a row here and take 2 out of 3 this week. And I think they'll take that, any day of the week. And, the pitching matchup tonight, they got the ace, Nestor Cortez, 1.35 ERA this season.
Best in the league.
Versus Dallas Keuchel, who, you want to talk, I think it was actually at this point, 2014, which is crazy. It was that long ago, shutting out the Yankees on the Astros in the American League wildcard game. Really a shell of that pitcher. And it's and it's crazy too, because he never had elite velocity. He just always had a really good off-speed pitches. And it's like, I don't know what it is. I guess he's lost his command and his location. I mean, because he's had a couple decent years, but that one Cy Young series, I mean, it was just, think about that compared to now.
Oh, dude, it's night and day.
He was unhittable.
He was unhittable, and you saw him kind of go. Where'd he go? He went to the Braves after the Astros, right?
For one season,
and then he was on. The White Sox. He was the Braves and the White Sox. Yeah, and even with the Braves, he had a couple good outings, but still wasn't anything that great. And
do you think it's just because they gear up for the fastball because it's 90, 91, they just wait for it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure he's lost a little off of the change.
Yeah.
Barnes, you have a crystal ball. I want to say if we will win this weekend. Now, who is
AC?
Oh. Yes, just because, and specifically Tony, I don't know about how they've done recently, but I just feel like Tony, you and AC you're due for like a weekend for the ages. Like I think it's been a while.
Mhm.
You know, a little struggle last time you
Oh
went.
yeah.
And I just feel like you're due to just come in hot.
Yeah. Absolutely, dude. Love it.
So anyway, you know, we didn't have picks the other day, you know, due to time constraints. So we'll make some now, and just in case anybody forgot, record wise, 19-9 for me, 14-14 for Tony. So you know, this is an important weekend for Tony here.
Yeah,
for
I would
sure.
say so, dude.
And just looking in terms of the amount of games, I guess it's Friday, should be a full slate. So do we go quads or no?
Yeah, right?
All right, start us off.
There's a lot of games tonight. A lot of games.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go to Colorado. Mets are playing Coors Field. Cookie Carrasco on the mound. I know, dude. Might be a little tough for him getting hit at Coors Field, but I don't know. I feel like with the way Colorado plays and the off-speed pitches that Carrasco has, I think he can fool some batters. And then on top of that, you know, Herman Marquez is on the mound for Colorado. 6.16 ERA right now. I would imagine that with the Mets hitters, pretty much everyone, honestly, besides really McNeil. No, even Lindor will have some hits tonight. But I don't know. McNeil, no, not McNeil. JD Davis has been like batting 177 right now. He's been struggling. But you know, Alonso off the walk-off homer, hot right now, leading the Mets with 10 home runs. McNeil's batting like a 337.
Picked him up for fantasy.
You picked him up for fantasy?
Yeah,
Let's go, dude.
You know, second base outfield eligibility.
Yeah, baby. I think, you know, 2 hits tonight, you know, nice, you know, maybe instead of, you know, RBI singles, it's going to be just like some 2-run homers.
How many raccoons?
Ball is flying. No raccoons, dude. Okay. Giving the Mets here in an offensive explosion, Barnes. They win 8-6.
Love it. And how many, like, what's so let's say he plays every day over the weekend. What's Lindor's, you know, hits for plate appearances this weekend? How many dingers? We got some RBIs. What do we got? You know, it's Coors Field. He should be able to lift the ball a little more.
Yeah.
Your confidence is very much so wavering in him.
Let's say over 3 games, he has what, like, let's say 12 at bats.
Yeah.
Over the weekend. I'll give him 5 for 12.
5 for 12.
5 for 12. Let's go, dude.
What do we got for dinger RBI?
I'll say he has 1 2-run homer, 2 RBI singles.
So that'd be 4 RBIs.
Yeah.
It's funny. I knew you were going to say just 1 home run because
I mean, come on.
Let's play the Yankees last year.
Let's be real. Okay?
Yeah. And it's like, do you honestly though, like dead serious, like, do you see this turning around, or is it like you kind of see a middle ground here where it never turns around to, you know, Cleveland Indian Francisco Lindor, but it also isn't as bad as it is right now, or you just don't even know at this point?
I mean, it's definitely tough to call. I would say he's gonna do better than he is right now. He's definitely gonna increase his production. But Cleveland Indian Lindor is gonna be tough, dude.
Like, I mean, do they need what is it, Donnie Stevenson?
Yeah, Donnie Stevenson. Yeah, no, they don't need no Donnie Stevenson. Okay, none of that. But I mean, listen, in terms of offense, I think it's going to be tough for him to replicate him like Cleveland Indian Lindor.
And I don't know,
or Guardian, whatever you want to say.
Because you watch so much more than I do in terms of the Mets. I heard on the radio they were talking about like the biggest thing with him is, you know, it started I think his last year in Cleveland, is catching up to the high fastballs. I mean, is that what you see? That's the biggest problem?
Predominantly, yeah. And it's still like after his good season in Cleveland, when he had like one like phenomenal season, and then it was the COVID season was like kind of a decline, but people were like, oh, you know, COVID season, whatever. But it seems like at the plate, he's also just chasing that big hit, you know, like he's looking for that Cleveland season again. And it's just like, you know, you just gotta relax, dude. You know, you just gotta play your ball. And I think that's why he did so bad last year.
Right.
Lindor wasn't relaxed last year. He was choking people out in the dugout.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think it's going to take some time for adjustment, and he's going to get better for sure. But until he stops, like, I feel like in his head, he's like, I have to be that Cleveland Lindor. And it's just like right now, we don't necessarily need that, you know?
Yeah.
We just need to get on base. Like,
It really is so like defeating when you sign someone to a big deal and they get off to this type of start. And
I
it's
know.
like, because in the back of your mind, like, of course, like, you want to just be like, listen, back of the baseball card doesn't lie.
Right.
Numbers are going to be there, but it's just when you get into a season plus and it's just tough to not like bug out.
I know.
You know? So that'll be something interesting to watch, and we'll see how the Mets fare in Colorado this weekend. In terms of the Yankees, of course, I will take them tonight. I mean, how could you not?
Nestor, I know.
Cortez. I mean,
Keuchel, too.
I feel like the way I feel about Nestor is the way that Michael feels about Embiid, being like a walking 50.
Mhm.
For me, it's like Nestor, 7 innings, 11 strikeouts, 1 earned run, no walks, 3 hits. I want to say we get Judge and Stanton homering. Give me 5-1 tonight. And the Yankees start off the weekend on a winning note.
What's the score?
5-1.
5-1?
Yeah.
Wow. Nestor, 7?
7 and 11. Strikeouts, of course. Not hits.
Yeah. 7 and 11 hits. Give it up. Yes. Very good. All right. My next pick, I'm going to go to Milwaukee. I think I've been picking Milwaukee a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
But they're playing the Nationals tonight. And it's like, dude.
Is it Fetty Wap on the mound?
It is Fetty Wap on the mound.
Okay.
He's got a 4.24 ERA, 18 walks, and 4 home runs given up over 34 innings. Also gonna have 33 hits over 34 innings. So I mean, he's had I think he had like 1 good outing, but then every other one he's pretty much getting shellacked. And I really don't think at this point Washington, has any type of run support to kind of counteract what Milwaukee will be doing. So give me Milwaukee, Hunter Renfroe, 2 home run game. Milwaukee wins it 4-1.
There we go. I am going to go to Baltimore and go with the Tampa Rays here. Jalen Beeks, the former Boston farmhand who came over in the trade for Nathan Eovaldi a couple years ago. Off to a nice start this season, opposed by Tyler Wells, 4.18 ERA this season. Listen, nice win for the Orioles last night, but there's a reason, why they're 15-24 this season. So I expect the Rays here. I honestly expect this to be a low-scoring game, but the Orioles to generate pretty much no offense. I think the Tampa pitching shuts them down. And Tampa has done very well against the Orioles the last 4 or 5 years. So give me Tampa here 3-0.
Wow.
Randy Arozarena.
You like that,
with
huh?
a go-ahead 3-run homer in the 5th.
Yeah, dude.
Holds up.
All right. I'm gonna go. Dude, I'm looking at Ryu's stats here. What's his deal, dude? He's only pitched 12 innings so far. He was neck tightness. That's right. He was out for a little while. He's a 9 ERA right now, which is absolutely ridiculous. But I'm gonna take Toronto tonight. Against the Reds. Think about it. They're visiting the Blue Jays, and I feel like for Ryu to come back, he just got back off a 10-day IL for neck tightness. I feel like he's bound to have like a nice bounce back outing here against the Reds. And I think obviously with Toronto, they have such great power. I'm surprised they're only at -170 right here. I guess because of Ryu, but
yeah,
dude, there's no way they're losing this game. With the way like Springer's been playing pretty well, Espinal as well, and of course you got Vladdy, bound to kind of go on a tear. I feel
right.
like he's really due to go on a tear. So give me Toronto here in a hitting explosion for them. Vladdy with a homer, Espinal a couple RBIs, Springer with a homer. Give me the Blue Jays here. I'll say 6-4. 6-4.
I like it. And
Yeah.
Vladdy's due. He still has not hit a home run.
Yeah.
Like obviously he has in the season, but
Right.
not
But like in a while.
3 weeks maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that one. I am gonna go to Boston, and last night, they did defeat the Mariners, I think by a pretty Hardy margin, it was close. Actually, the Mariners were up 4-0 at one point and then ended up blowing it. But who was big out of the pen for the Sox was Tanner Houck, who has struggled this year, removed from the rotation, in the bullpen, kind of shuffling back and forth. And it's like, especially with Boston this year, sure, they could turn it around. But, tell me I'm crazy, Tony, but it's like, why are they messing around with Tanner Houck and having Michael Wacha and Rich Hill in the rotation? Like, it's just like that guy's future is as a starter. So why the shuffle? You know what I mean? I don't get it.
Get Wacha out of there, dude.
And initially, it was for to get Garrett Whitlock in the rotation, but it's like, I don't even think get Wacha out of there. Get Rich Hill. Release him, or let him go to the Mets. I'm sure you would take him as a fill-in starter. Honestly, I think you would.
A fill-in starter right now?
Yeah,
probably.
So yeah, Wacha. Especially the fact too that Wacha's 3-0 with a 138. He is due to get absolutely hammered. And what a better place, Fenway Park, Hitters Park. JP Crawford, who was off to a torrid start, really has struggled the last couple of weeks. Was injured a little bit. So I think he's due. I think he's going to go like 4 for 5, maybe put one over the monster. Robbie Ray, big free agent deal with the Mariners, coming over from Toronto, coming off the Cy Young, but 4.62 ERA this year. So that's disappointing. So I think, he's due to have a nice outing here. So give me the Mariners. I'm going to say 10-5 tonight. So a lot of runs scored in Boston.
Wow.
Total set at 9, so I'm expecting 15. So wow. Basically say hammer the over, Tony.
Nice, dude. All right. My next game, I'm going to go to San Francisco, I think. They're playing the Padres tonight, the Giants, that is. And I'm just like looking over some and originally I'm like, oh, dude, like I might go Giants, but I don't know, dude. Sean Manaea on the mound for San Diego. Jacob Junis on the mound for the Giants.
Do you remember what Junis is known for?
No, what's he known for?
Probably it was 3 years ago. Up and in, Aaron Judge fractured the wrist.
Really?
Yep. Everyone is due, LOL.
Oh, man, Magic Mike. Everyone is
Good
due.
to have you with us, sport.
Everyone is due. That is a fact.
And I know Michael will like this one. I think the whole Materiello family is going to channel their inner Vassal this weekend. All right, so just a little food for thought.
Oh, God, that's funny. I guess, dude, I don't know, man. Eric Hosmer's doing pretty well. I'll go with San Diego, I suppose. I think that's a Barnes pick.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Yeah, I bet. Dude, but I feel like Manaea, though. I don't know.
Dude, Manaea's been good, man. Oh, my God. Yes, millions in winnings.
Yes,
let's go Rangers, baby.
Rangers, baby.
Millions
in rings.
You can clip. Yeah, just write down the time on that one. I
already have it.
I think that one sounded a little better.
My mother channeling. My mother's channeling right now.
Oh, man.
All right, give me the Padres. Why not tonight? Rick Hosmer, give me a dinger out of him. Machado, bases clearing triple. Okay, Padres win it 4-2.
Wow. Yeah, I like it. And I've been saying this for a while, but I just really can't wait to see Tatis back.
I know. Dude.
I think that's maybe next month, maybe the end of next month.
Sport needs him.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm gonna go to Houston, where the weather is hot and the Astros have been hot. After a bad start, 25-14 now. They have Javier on the mound versus Martin Perez, and it's just like, how many times have we seen Martin Perez get absolutely hammered on the mound? I feel like I've seen it, dozens of times actually. And he says, Vassal method, play smart, play the long game.
The long game.
Come out winning, which hitting it right on the head, just like Michael always does. And just like I am here, Astros all over the Rangers. And literally, Tony, could you think of a way to spend almost $400 million worse than, or actually, no, almost $500 million worse than what the Rangers did this offseason? Simeon looks like he can't hit water falling out of a boat.
Yeah.
Seager has struggled, and the team is terrible.
Could I think of another way to waste that much money?
Francisco Lindor?
Yeah.
Max Scherzer. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, obviously that hasn't worked out as expected. I expected them to be a little better. But I'm going to say Alex Bregman with 2 home runs, including a 4th inning grand slam. Wow. Astros 10-0 as Michael cracks up at water out of a boat. And I think that applies for Lindor, that applies for Hicks, that applies for Gallo, that applies for Higgy. Trevino hit the home run. So we'll let that go for a little bit. But yeah, that is my 4th.
What was the score there?
Final 10-0. Throw a couple shekels up there. Could be a nice payday. I don't That's definitely about like a team. Was it the Heat series?
No, Tiger Woods. 50 to 1 or 50 to 1, right?
Yeah. 60 actually, 60 which now is probably 800 because he shot 4 over yesterday.
Yeah.
Lindor
is T to the R to the ash. Trash.
I mean, hard to argue there, Michael.
I would say trash. There are worse players out there.
The whole team is trash.
The entire organization is trash.
But yeah, so I mean, I think we're due for some New York Series wins this weekend.
I think so too.
I'm pumped up about it. I can't wait. So we'll see what happens, but time to switch gears. World of the National Hockey League.
In they come, Timmins, what a save by Vasilevsky! Are you kidding me?
McAvoy, Frederick, did you get the license plate number on that truck?
McDavid, beautiful move!
You just knew that Connor McDavid was going to make a statement. What a goal.
Dude,
right,
as Michael says.
And so, we didn't actually, I was going to talk about last night, but before I do that, we actually didn't get to talk about Monday night. And, obviously we watched the entire game in regulation together. And just so disappointing the fact that the Rangers offense, just could not pick up Shesterkin. I mean, 1 goal, we're late into the 3rd period, and Sebastian Aho, and it's kind of ironic all the times I would say his name wrong that he ends up, what was it, about 3 minutes left in regulation, give or take. So that was a tough one right near the net. And as soon as that happened, I mean, you could just feel the momentum very much shift, in Carolina's favor. And then I want to say about 5 minutes in, Aho again with the game winner. So another game one.
He didn't have the game winner.
I thought he did.
No, it was that guy Cole something.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Honestly, I mean, the way you say it as, did he have the assist?
He might have. I don't know. It was like
I know what it was. I know what it was. He shot the shot, and then it hit off the goalie, like Aho, and then Cole shot it again and went in. That's what it was.
Yeah,
you hear on the Cole, Aho, and that's why I thought,
And it's like he just like kind of wrapped around almost in the middle of the ice and just kind of flung the puck there. Very unfortunate because Ryan Lindgren was in front of the net, almost our own defenseman, almost screening Shesterkin.
Yeah,
and it hit him. It deflected off of his stick, and he had no business being there. Because he wasn't covering anyone. He was just in front of Shesterkin, and he literally, like, you see him, he's standing there with his stick up like this, and it hits his stick and goes in the net. And it's like, if you look at it, like Shesterkin, it was a nothing shot. That guy who scored is not a goal scorer. He has like 4 goals in the season. Like, he's not, that was the only way he was going to score a goal ever in the playoffs. And Ryan Lindgren was just there, and you saw Shesterkin's face. Literally just drops his stick. Is like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah. But I mean, I think because it's just, it doesn't come down to that, even though it does. It somewhat does. But you gotta score.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like you can't win if you can't score, and it's just that simple. And after getting Hedl with the goal in the first, it seemed like it might be a better offensive night, but they were cold turkey from that point out.
No, yeah, it was tough too. They had a really hard time getting past Antti Ranta. And it's funny because, they mentioned it too at the first game. There's like 7 former Rangers on the Hurricanes, Antti Ranta being one of them. Who else? Anthony Duclair's on the team. Who's that other defenseman? Brady Shea. Brady Shea's on the team as well. And they had a hard time getting past those guys as well. I mean, Carolina has a really good defense. They have really good blue line control. They really don't give up a lot of opportunities. And I don't know. This is where, like, sometimes, because I'm listening to ESPN radio, obviously, the next day, and, like, this is where, like, Rothenberg kind of, like, ticks me off a little bit. Because already he's like, it was the same deal when the Penguins won game 1 of the last year. So he was like, oh my God, down 1-0. Like, what are they doing? Hold on, I think we have a call right now. Hello, you're on the sports report. What do you want to talk about?
The Magic Man is back.
He's
Better than ever.
back.
Oh,
Michael joins us. How you
Okay,
doing,
Here's
sport?
my game 2 predictions. I just want to start off, fellas, by saying great show so far. Everybody's due, just like the Rangers, to come out. You're going to see a different team. Tony, remember last series? They came, like, I think it was game 3, was there? I forgot what it was. When we just said to each other, this is a totally different team.
yeah, it was game
It's going to
3.
be the same thing this game. And I just want to add also the Eddie Mush thing. I am the complete opposite of Eddie Mush. I literally turned to you fellas and said, if they lose, I am the good luck charm. And Tony wants to say, oh, but they were winning before you. But no, now I'm invested. So now I am the good luck charm. And together, as the DTV crew and the Rangers, we will ride this charm all the way to the Stanley Cup. Let's go!
It was unbelievable. I mean,
There we go.
Can't say it any better than that.
Right.
Honestly, can't say it any better than that.
But yeah, so to go off what, like, Rothenberg is like, oh my God, like, you're never gonna face a Carolina team that was struggling as much as they did, or whatever, dude. But, like, he's wrong. Like, I think he's totally wrong. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, fly on my foot, dude. Yeah, dude, he's so wrong. I mean, he's such, like, a negative Nancy about losses. It's really funny. Like, I mean, yeah, obviously Carolina's a better team than Pittsburgh, but I mean, they still came back at Pittsburgh. No easy feat, to do. And not to mention, they've been progressively getting better every game. I mean, you would have never thought, though, if the Rangers were going to lose game 1 against Carolina, it wouldn't be a 2-1 loss in overtime.
Right.
Like,
right.
People were expecting that, like, them to come out in Carolina and get shellacked by the Hurricanes.
The only thing I'll say is that obviously we saw them bounce back from that game 1 loss last series.
Mhm.
And then, of course, they're in the same predicament this series. I think it's just like his school of thought is like, sure, like you can get away with that like once during a series where you lose a game that you should win. But
Right.
once it extends past that point
Right.
and it happens again, then it's over. So
Right.
it just your back is somewhat against the wall. This is kind of a must win. I know you're going home to the Garden after this, but it's like when you're playing a quality opponent, and obviously Carolina, had a lot better year than Pittsburgh did this year. It gets harder and harder as we go further into these playoffs. So it's like it just really puts you in a high pressure situation, which is tonight in Raleigh.
Of course. And I think the Rangers are going to rise to the pressure. And like you said, if you lose these games like that you should be winning a few times, but like the guy Cole isn't going to score again in the series.
Right.
Ryan Lindgren isn't creating Shesterkin again, ever in this. Like, he's not.
But hopefully there's another game where Shesterkin only gives up, 1 goal or shuts them out almost the whole game. That I think is just very important, because it just takes the pressure, off the offense. And obviously it works both ways. Them scoring, takes the pressure off of him.
And he will. I think Shesterkin will. I mean, he had a phenomenal game. I mean, obviously the overtime goal was nonsense, not his fault. But even that goal he gave up against Aho, like, that was his mistake, honestly, too. I mean, granted, like, Aho had a phenomenal opportunity and the rebound he had as well. But it's like, Shesterkin kicked his leg out, had his skate up against the pipe, blocked the first shot, but then moved his leg, and the rebound was there. If Shesterkin kept his skate up against the pole, it wasn't going to be a goal. So, but other than that, I mean, Shesterkin had a phenomenal game because Carolina had good chances. Shesterkin was on it. And the Rangers, I think their offense was a lot better than people thought. They had a lot of chances as well.
Was it Kako who missed that?
Yeah, Kako, wide open. Panarin, I think, whiffed on a couple one-timers as well. Which, yeah, I mean, you can't do that. And they're not. They're going to improve upon that for sure because they've been improving like every single game. The only thing they haven't been improving on is really the face-off, is winning face-offs. which is something they need to do a lot better. Because there's so many times, I mean, I've talked about it against Pittsburgh, like Carolina's under pressure, just like Pittsburgh was doing. They're going to ice the puck, knowing that they can win that faceoff in their own zone. Not really have to worry about it, right? So if they start winning faceoffs, Carolina's going to be that much more on their heels. And, to what Mike is saying, we're going to see, I think, a better team coming out tonight. And, it seemed like that, Carolina, even though the arena was bumping, they really weren't fazed by that at all. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a lot of green Whalers jerseys in the crowd, which is pretty dope. But I think the Rangers are going to go up from here. And I think, honestly, this series is going to start to look ugly when we get back to the Garden for Hurricanes.
Now, I always get confused when they say stuff like this, but if the Rangers win tonight, do they call that stealing home ice or no? I never understand that phrase.
Yeah. I mean,
because there's more games left in MSG, or no, it's even, isn't it? Or no.
So it'll be
5 games, so there'd be more at MSG because there's 3, and then there's 3. I'm confusing myself here.
Yeah, I think you are.
Oh yeah, because there's 3, and there's only 2 in Carolina the rest of the series.
No, so they're
after tonight
in Carolina tonight,
right?
At the Garden for 2.
1-1-1. So I'm saying it's technically after tonight,
right?
It's 3-2. So
yes,
they win. That's stealing home ice. Right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yes,
it is always a little bit of a confusion.
Yeah, no, especially when you start talking about it.
Oh my god. Yes. So that being said, Tony, only 2 games tonight. So take us away, bud. What do we got?
All right, I'll go with the Rangers. Obviously, we were talking about them. I'll let you take the easy game. Although you're probably
9-6 Flames game 1. By the way,
I know that was crazy, dude. Did you see
9?
Did you see the Flames head coach? His name's escaping me right now. But he literally he said in the post game conference, he's like, I told my team, I was like, hey, Edmonton's got some goal scorers, so we need to score at least between 8 and 10 goals tonight.
And what's between 8 and 10?
9.
And that being said,
so anyway, the Rangers tonight, dude. I'm going with the Rangers. I think we're going to see a good mix between the kid line, as they're calling it, with Hedl, Lafreniere, and Kakko. A lot of production out of them, and then production out of our veterans as well. I think Zibanejad is going to have a nice goal. I think Panarin's going to hit a one-timer. I think Kakko is going to finally, find the back of the net. And then I guess I'll give Kreider a goal as well. Kreider needs to score so bad.
Where's he been the whole playoffs?
I don't know.
I know he scored, but it's it's not the Kreider.
Right. It's not in front of the net, boxing someone out, just deflecting like he's been doing all season.
Let's go.
Even doing the power play too. He's one of the top leaders in the entire NHL with power play goals. Right. What are we doing? Let's go. So how many is that? Is that 4 or 5? Panarin, Zibanejad, Kreider,
That's
4.
Yeah,
I'll say, and then maybe someone else can get a empty netter end of the game. Rangers win this one 5-2.
And your mother says Anthony is the luck charm. He's
wearing the jersey
when
they win. You can't take it off.
Very true.
I know.
Very, very true.
I'm also wearing a Pavel Buchnevich jersey. This is their Winter Classic jersey from a couple of years ago. Buchnevich now plays for the Blues, though.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did steal game 2 in Colorado.
I know, dude.
So that was interesting. Definitely agree with you on the Rangers. Obviously, that's your pick, but just that aside,
right.
I do agree with you. They're going to win, but I can't see it being that decisive. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it's overtime.
Right.
It's 3-2. It's Zibanejad. A couple minutes in, I kind of see like a 3-2 overtime win, but obviously,
tough, dude.
We'll take either one,
right? So obviously, we'll take a win either way.
And then you speak Oilers, Flames. I mentioned 9-6 the other night for the Flames in game 1. Oilers come back with a vengeance, and it was crazy. Mike Smith, you've kind of hyped him up a little bit this year. He had a decent run after a tough start, injuries. Gets pulled in the first. So they insert Koskinen, and obviously that didn't really work out that good. So I do think Smith is gonna, get back in there, learn from a absolute, embarrassment in game 1. kind of keep the Flames at bay relative. And I think that high octane Oilers offense is back tonight. I'm going to say 7-3.
Wow.
Connor McDavid, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 goals in the Oilers Game 2 victory. Not many people have scored 4 in the playoffs. Of a game.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you how many people have.
So yeah, I mean,
that's crazy, dude.
Pump for the game tonight. We'll see what happens. A couple quick things on the way out. So let's just go quickly, Tony. World National Basketball Association.
The Bulls LeBron James at the buzzer.
He banks in the three, and the Lakers win the game.
Feels like the Lakers haven't played in a year. So only game last night, of course, now that we're down to the Final Four. Boston. Not much of a game, honestly. 127-102. And, I've kind of mentioned this to you before, and you've agreed with me. I just, the juice, Gentleman Jack is not there. I think to watch one of these games, you need some Gentleman Jack. Am I wrong?
No, you're totally right, dude. Yeah.
So I was surprised to see Miami, especially at a home, kind of, fall flat on their face, losing by 25. But maybe this will be a long series. We'll see what happens in Boston. I mean, kind of looking at this, like I am expecting another split in Boston, and then we might be going, game 5 in Miami.
Yeah.
So we'll see, when that series resumes. Surprised at all, or is this just like a 7-game series for you? So it's just,
I suppose I'm surprised a little bit by the margin of victory for the Celtics, but I knew with Smart back in the game, he would play a factor. He did 24 points last night.
Yeah. 24 from Jalen.
Yeah.
27 from Tatum.
Yeah, dude. So they had definitely, a good mix, a lot of help. I think Tatum had 20 in the first half, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And, that was, and he had support players as well, getting like 15, 12 points the first half as well. Peyton Pritchard looked pretty decent from 3, at least in the first half anyway. And I just felt like, I don't know, I feel like Miami sometimes was forcing. Tyler Hero was like forcing threes, I feel, in the first half as well.
For 3 from 3, 5 of 11 from the floor.
Yeah, he was definitely a little cold. So it was definitely, a different Celtics team we saw with Smart. And of course, their defense was really good too. I mean, I feel like in the first half, they were they were just like swarming Miami. Miami was getting called for travels left and right, turning the ball over. I mean, it made for interesting baseball. It was a little baseball. Baseball was definitely interesting. It made for some interesting basketball, but it was a little boring to watch, I suppose.
Well, and I just think you can't have a playoff game, especially at home, where your only players in the positive in terms of the plus minus was Omer Yurtseven and Haywood Highsmith, 2 names. Tony's always said, name sounds familiar. He has not heard of either of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that's embarrassing. And Jimmy Butler's minus 20.
Yeah,
that's not going to get it done. Mike says he needs his own apartment for
segment.
NBA.
Segment for NBA. I'll bring the fans what they need for NBA talk.
Michael, come on. I love the NBA, but it's just there's certain years, and you think back to, some of those Spurs titles or the Pistons where, for whatever reason, can't get it in. The juice is just not there. And I think a problem is, and sure, there's Luka Doncic, there's Steph Curry, there's Klay Thompson, there's Jimmy Butler, but we're missing a lot of guys that are normally in this situation, like LeBron, like KD, like Kyrie, like Giannis, and it's just like Jokic, the 2-time reigning MVP.
Even playoffs.
And it's just when you're missing star power, it's just not as enticing. I mean, it's that simple. It's the Masters without Tiger. I mean, it's the same thing.
No 3-pointers.
I know Tony knows it.
Yeah.
It's the A's and the Rockies in the World Series.
Wow, it's tough.
So, I think that's what it is. Give us a good product. Give us a game. that's not decided by 25 points.
I mean,
we'll get fired up for it.
The first game in this series was really good, you know, with Miami coming back in the third quarter, the back and forth offense, like nonstop play. You know, I guess just, you know, this game was different.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I love to hear dog on the overnights for this game. You know, I'm sure he's saying, you know, everybody headed to the locker room maybe after the second quarter. Nevertheless, we got one game tonight, Dallas in Golden State. You know, Golden State coming off that big game 1 win. So
The legend that is Luka Doncic.
And let's just go right there, Tony. That legend, will he rise like the Dark Knight tonight and steal game 2?
I think he will.
How many?
48.
Wow.
Going off, dude. The smile, the laughing after hitting the buckets,
flirting with the female ref.
Flirting with the female refs. Oh man, yeah, I think so.
What's the margin?
I'll say they win. No, give me like 122 to 117.
All right. You know, I'm pretty much at the same spot, but I'm gonna push it a tick further. 55 for Luka, including 30, Tony, in the first quarter. Only Maverick to score. I swear to God, it's like just every play carving up this weak Golden State team. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, I know they're not weak, but I'm just saying he's going to make them look weak tonight. But give me Dallas.
Gentleman Jack.
The gentleman Jack will be out early in these luxury boxes at the Chase
Oh,
Center.
yeah, dude.
So I would say Dallas 138, Golden State 117. Draymond ejected midway through the first.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, yeah, another snoozer. Other than, I mean, it's nice to see, you know, Doncic carve him up. And you know, this game being at 9, the Rangers at 7, you can kind of just flip to that. But then, you know, end of the Yankee game, end of the Met game. So you got some options that, for me and Tony, you know, this is a little lower in terms of the totem pole. So we'll see. And really, other than that, I mean, you know, we did do quick PGA picks the other day. You know, at the end of the day yesterday, you know, at Southern Hills, we did see Rory McIlroy at the top of the list. And, you know, this is a guy who hasn't won a major in 8 years. So nice to see Rory, you know, back at the top of his
Who'd
game.
you pick, Morikawa?
I did pick Morikawa.
Who did Mike pick?
Over. He picked Tiger, who was 4 over
He did pick
after
Tiger.
a nice start. I think he was 1 under to begin.
He's got time.
He's got time, but I mean, they're anticipating a cut no worse than +2. So basically, you know, he's got to shoot a couple under par today to make it to the weekend. You know, but of course, you know, we'll see Justin Thomas, Will Zalatoris, and Tom Mahogue, 1 shot back, 4 under. So, you know, a lot of golf left to be played here. So it'll just be kind of interesting to see what transpires. And you know what was great? I know you will love this. I know Michael will love this. John Daly, Tony, on the front 9, -2, was leading the tournament for a little bit. Ends up going +4 in the back, but still, for a guy who's
Gentleman Jack,
56 years old, you know, having
Smoking
Gentleman
bogeys.
Jack and bogeys on the course.
Oh my God.
You know, that's a pretty good round. That was the same round, you know, doesn't matter how you get there, imagine about the final score, that Colin Morikawa had yesterday. So just think about that for a second. I mean, pretty remarkable, honestly.
It's unreal.
So it'd be interesting to see what he you know, brings today. It doesn't look like, yeah, he hasn't teed off 12:25. You know, so we'll see what happens. And obviously, you know, when we're back here Monday, we will have you know, a winner for you.
Oh yeah.
And then really the only other thing I wanted to mention, Tony, is, and I know we're kind of going back a sport here, but is it over for Florida? Falling down 2-0, you know, 2 home games they lose to Tampa.
I think they'll steal 1, maybe 2, but I mean at that point, I think they'll win this next game. I think then go down 3-1, and then maybe that 5th game they'll win. But if it's not done in 5, it's done in 6.
Last team, I feel like I have no idea, but last team to go 3 in a row. Do you know?
3 in a row in the Cup.
Mm-hmm.
The last team to do it, I mean, I would have. Dude, I don't think Penguins did it.
I'm gonna look it up, and I just want one guess out of you, Tony.
I'm trying to think. I know Penguins definitely went back to back. I don't think they did 3 in a row. I don't think Boston has. I want to say it's way back in the day. It's either going to be the Leafs or the Canadiens, I feel.
Which one?
I'll go Canadiens.
So close.
Leafs?
Yeah.
Damn.
So actually, the Leafs did it twice, 47-49, 62-64, and actually, 1947 defeated the Canadiens in the Stanley Cup final. Interesting, because now both of those teams, if I'm not mistaken, they're in the Eastern Conference.
Correct.
So that wouldn't be possible, but obviously less teams back then. So obviously something very, very hard to do, and it's something that we don't want to see.
Right.
However, I mean, they are putting themselves in the conversation to get an opportunity, to have a chance. And after, back against the wall at Game 7 in round 1, kind of seems like Vasilevsky is we're starting to see the old Vasilevsky after taking a month or two off.
Yeah, I would say so. And I mean, Tampa Bay's offense has been hot. Their defense has been really good too to support Vasilevsky. So he's got everything around him going right. And that's why he's performing a little better. He's still, some of the goals he's letting up is like a little bit. I think yesterday, there was one goal where he blocked the shot, but it like trickled through his arm or something. It's like, come on, dude. Come on. Can't be doing that.
So that'll be interesting.
I want them Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
That's who we want, dude.
Yeah. And I am just, right. Okay. Never mind. Doesn't even matter. But actually I was going to say, we got something on deck coming up.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude. We have screen time coming at you, at 10:30, maybe a little early. So don't go nowhere. Don't you change that clicker. All right. We have the best battle scenes in movies and television. Last episode we did best like one-on-one fights and stuff like that. So we're going the full-on battles. It's going to be me, Manny, and Jay here in studio.
Wow.
That's right,
Jay
dude.
coming in hot.
The trio, dude. So it's going to be a great time. And of course, we have some news and updates. We're going to look at the She-Hulk trailer and some other stuff as well. So it's going to be a fun episode for sure, dude.
Yeah. So everybody tune into that. And of course, there is so much sports to watch this weekend. So I really want everybody to enjoy that, whether it's Stanley Cup playoffs, NBA basketball playoffs, of course, Major League Baseball, the golf. We will have someone on Sunday afternoon hoisting the Wanamaker Trophy. And it's just crazy that it was 1 year ago that Phil Mickelson hoisted that trophy.
It was just crazy.
And to ever think he would be in the position that he is now.
Where is he
in
now,
complete
dude?
exile from the PGA Tour, having not played in months upon months. And a career very much in question. A lot of rumblings that he's really swimming in some gambling debt. So maybe, he should make it over to the Borgata with the Materiellos this weekend. They might, point him in the right direction.
Yeah, help him out. Why not, dude? Yeah.
But yeah, so everybody enjoy the games. Of course, we appreciate you all for tuning in. So to continue to comment, like, and subscribe. The YouTube archives. Exactly. I don't even need to say any more. And then the merch, downtimetv.com, a hoodie, a pullover, a knit hat.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go on. A cell phone case, I believe.
Their cell phone case, a laptop sleeve, dude, fanny pack, duffel bag, backpack, socks, polo. We're going to go to work in a nice Downtime TV polo.
Maybe golf bags on the horizon in the future. Something to consider.
Yeah, something to consider. Bowling bag,
baseball bat bag, gloves, hats, fitted hats, 5950s.
Oh no.
Let's go. But yeah, so much to be riled about. But everybody enjoy the weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.